This is tutorial 10-3. In this tutorial we're going to be learning how to drape features onto a tin. We're going to be continuing where we left off in 10-2. We're going to start by adding a new feature class, which is curves. And just like the topo lines in the first tutorial, it appears on the bottom. What we're going to do now is we're going to right click on curves and go down to the properties option. In here it's a bit different from ArcMap. We have base heights, extrusions now to be working with, and in here what we have is right now it's set to no elevation values from a surface. Basically it's saying that there were no coordinates, z coordinates, for these features, so we're going to float them on the custom surface. So what it's going to do is they're already lined up with the tin. So what it's going to do is basically, just like the tutorial says, drape them right onto the tin. So we're going to click OK. And as you can see, it moved it and it placed them right where they would be on, and it based the elevation on the tin. It's not 100% accurate, but for most purposes it works just fine. Now what we're going to do is we're going to be adding another class feature. This one's going to be buildings. These are going to be polygons. As you can see, they're down on the bottom. I don't like the color they came in as, so we're going to change them to midday yellow. Now we're going to right click, go to properties. We're going to do just what we did with the previous one. As you can see, now buildings are displayed on our map. But for a 3D model, it doesn't really depict how the city would look. So we were in luck with this data set because these buildings are going to be extruded, and when they were collected, the height of the building was put into their attribute table. So we're just going to double click on height, click OK, and OK again. And as you can see, each building now has a height based upon it. Now we know where the large buildings are, where the small buildings are. Okay. Now with that done, what they want us to do is there's a your turn where they want us to add the rivers, and we're going to do that. We're going to go to add. As you can see, it's not in our 3D Analyst Geo database, so we're going to go back to our GIS1 folder, click on data. It's in this one right here, and we're just going to double click on rivers, and as you can see, it appeared under the map just like the others did. So we're going to right click, go to properties. We want it to float, but they want it not only to float, but they want it to offset it. They want it 5, and seeing that we gave a coordinate system to the tin, it's basically going to place it 5 feet over the tin. So we're going to click OK, and I'm just going to change that color to blue just so it looks more like water. And as you can see, we now have something that looks very much like a city. All the buildings are, we can zoom in. And we can, as you can see, the tall buildings obscure the small buildings, just like in real life. And now what we're going to do is we're going to save. But what we have to do first is we have to go to File, Scene Document Properties. We need to store relative pathways path names to data sources, and click OK. Then we just go to File, Save As. They want us to go to my computer, C drive, as we press, my exercises, 10, and they want us to save it as tutorial 10-1. And as before we were doing mix files, MXDs, these will be abbreviated SXDs, as scene mix files. So we're just going to click save. And with that done, we are done with this tutorial.